Dan Willis here, and we're talking about how can I fix my credit and specifically how to clean up credit report dings, blemishes, and remove those negative items from your credit report. You see, those dings, those blemishes, those negative items on your credit report are what's pulling and causing a bad credit score down. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is what we're going to use, the FCRA, as the primary method of removing these items. And this federal legislation entitles and empowers you to dispute and challenge any item on your credit report so long as you believe it's inaccurate, misleading, or made in error. There have been amendments made to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but for which now enable you to dispute a data furnisher directly. A data furnisher is the company that's reporting that account information, the company, the collection agency, the creditor, the lender, etc. Whoever it is that's reporting that information, you can now dispute them directly, bypassing the credit bureaus. For our purposes, we're going to be talking about the credit bureau dispute process, which is the overwhelming majority of credit disputes, and in most cases, this is what's going to be used. There's 3 ways to dispute your credit report. You can do it online, over the phone, or by mail. Once the credit bureaus get your dispute, they get to first decide if it's valid, in which case they'll investigate, or if it's frivolous, in which case they're going to respond by asking you for more information. If it's valid, they're required to investigate the item, but they'll call it a reinvestigation as if there was an investigation that took place before that was slapped on your credit report. During their reinvestigation, they're going to contact the data furnisher and ask them to verify your account. If your account is verified, then it'll stay on your credit report and it can be updated with more accurate information. The more common result is it won't be verified, and if that happens, then in accordance with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, this means the credit bureaus must remove that item from your credit reports. This is how to clean up your credit. Do so legally by exercising your consumer rights. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, the big challenge with all this is getting the credit bureaus to deem your dispute valid. We wish we were lying, but that's the biggest challenge. That's what causes most people to just give up and live with bad credit. You see, when the credit bureaus investigate your dispute, my dispute, Joe's dispute, that's only an expense for them. They don't earn a nickel by investigating and removing even the most obvious of errors from your credit report or my credit report. In 2015, and just as an example of their hesitancy and reluctance, in 2015, all 3 of the credit bureaus settled and agreed to pay $6 million to 31 state attorney generals. 60 Minutes in recent years did a story sharing just how darn right impossible it is for most everyday average Americans to successfully dispute even the most obvious of errors on their credit report and have the credit bureaus actually investigate it. The Fair Credit Reporting Act's been on the book for decades, and as of today, 2017, the credit bureaus are reported to receive 8 million disputes every single year. Now, in the 40 plus years since the credit bureaus have been required to spend this money as only an expense, doesn't it seem reasonable that the credit bureaus have thought and invested time, resources, money, all sorts of stuff into figuring out how to at least minimize this expense? Of course! That's why it's downright next to impossible to get your dispute deemed valid, and why you're virtually guaranteed to have it found frivolous. Julie Miller's one example, 2013, she spent 2 years trying to get 38 bogus collection marks out of her credit report. After 2 years, they were still telling her dispute was frivolous. There's much more to that story, but this is why Congress passed the Fair Credit Reporting Act way back in 1970, because it is your credit report. It is your credit score. It is so vitally important. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, here's the other thing. If you're dealing with debt collectors, There's more alphabet soup laws to use here. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, that was passed intended to regulate this industry. But in short, if you have some legitimate outstanding debts, you may need to pay those off in order to clear them from your credit report. But you first, if that's the case, please first perform the necessary due diligence and do it following a process that we'll share here in the past and will again in the future. So of course, subscribe and join our congregation. But to wrap this all up, the credit and the debt system truly are not designed for your benefit. And especially when you're on the wrong side of it. It's about as detrimental as being on the wrong side of the law. But you're not sentenced to a bad credit prison for 7-year maximum. There is no minimum amount of time that bad credit must stay on your credit report. And if OJ can get out early, chances are you too can get out of bad credit prison early. At the end of the day, your credit score is just like your grade point average. It's virtually impossible to get a good grade point average if you're failing gym class. And those dings, those blemishes, those negative items on your credit report, those are just like having F's on your transcript. We have got to remove and get rid of those items. That's why it's so critically important to clean up those bad negative credit report items and get them off of your credit report. And here's the good news. In 2016 alone, over 9 million negative items were removed from consumer credit reports. And this is why we encourage our members to consider professional, legitimate, and legal credit repair companies to help with this, because one of the best firms, is the Credit Pros. They've helped their clients remove late payments, collections, judgments, charge-offs, liens, repossessions, bankruptcies, and so many more negative credit report items. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Again, that's for a free credit consultation, and the toll-free phone number is 1-877-418-7596. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article at our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Of course, subscribe and join our congregation. Have a fantastic day, and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.